Today, this event is hosted by the College of Business and UTSA Leadership and Volunteer Services. We are very fortunate to have some amazing speakers today, Mr. Brandon Logan and Mr. Daryl Bird, here to share their wisdom and their knowledge and give advice and just have a really candid conversation about your social networking and growing. And so we're very excited to have you all here.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you, and thank you for the honor of allowing me to, Brandon, my good friend Brandon, to spend some time with you. I want to share a little bit about my journey coming to San Antonio. I moved here in the mid-90s. I was coming from the East Coast. I'm a native Virginian, and my background is urban planning. That is what my master's degree is in, and just kind of looking beyond today and thinking about tomorrow. What does the future look like? How can you create something that does not yet exist? Think about the big cities in America as performances and plays. And your New York, your Chicago, your LA, San Francisco, those cities would be Tony Award winning, long running performances that are just amazing. They're brilliant and they're powerful, and they show up in a very big way. The most you as an individual get as an opportunity, usually in a city like that, you get to watch that performance at play. It's already kind of happening. It's already going on. San Antonio is a city where you still have the opportunity as an individual to be an actor in the greatness of that place. You still have the opportunity to be a director. You still have the opportunity to be a producer of the future greatness of that town. And that's a unique opportunity. After I came to San Antonio in the mid-90s, I worked for a number of years and then had the opportunity to be a part of a redevelopment called Pearl Brewery. And Pearl was, when I got here, just an abandoned industrial site. I share that opportunity because I wouldn't have had it just by me going and applying for a job. That was because people had observed kind of the way I was carrying myself when I was trying to be at my best for a number of years before that. You got to be humble as you travel this journey. You got to make sure that you are making sure that you elevate and energize the people around you. You make sure that you render people who sometimes seem invisible or feel like they're invisible. You've got the power, no matter where you are in your professional career, render them visible. It's very, very powerful. Believe in yourself, believe in your city. I want you to dream big. I want you to think bold thoughts and be committed to making sure those things happen, because they're absolutely possible.
What I want to try to do is just continue what Daryl established. He talked about servant leadership and intentionality, but then also finding ways to make investments, i.e. transfer knowledge to the next generation. So I will talk to you all in three phases, and we'll try to highlight some critical areas in the space of calling, career, and community. I want to tell you specifically a story about a young kid by the name of Jamal at Longs Creek Elementary School. He was a 5th grade student. I was a senior. We just finished our football season. We had lost in the state quarterfinals. Well, Jamal had asked me casually how my weekend was, and I started to utter some words that demonstrated that I was complaining about how we had lost, we got set back, etc. And Jamal stopped me in mid-sentence and told me, Mr. Logan, I just want to tell you, thank you. He said, I just want to say thank you for being a father figure and a role model that I never had. It helped me to realize what Daryl was just emphasizing, that life is not about me. It's about we, and understanding how can we contribute to the lives of other people. Jamal helped me to find my calling. My purpose is within youth, education, and underserved. So I finished an undergraduate, go to graduate school, finish out my final year in football, had a chance to move on beyond college with football, got injured. Because I had an alternative plan to sports, the seamless transition occurred, and I got actively busy in our community. I have had the good fortune of serving on bank boards, serving on community boards that have significant roles and responsibilities within the space of youth education and underserved populations. Moving out of career and into community, I realized that serving on boards was one thing, but leading organizations was another. One kind of cool project that came about my time as the president of Rotary was to recognize some of the large scale cities that Daryl mentioned earlier, whether it's New York, DC, Seattle, Los Angeles, to recognize the quality of life was much more enhanced there than what I saw in San Antonio. So number one, not just talking about the problem, but creating the opportunities, right? Building on the solutions that could be present in our local marketplace. So I had this crazy idea of bringing an outdoor ice skating rink to downtown San Antonio during the holiday. The goal was not to create an outdoor ice skating rink experience. The goal was about bringing community and building off of, you know, those 5 last letters in community, which is the unity piece. Another cool opportunity I had was the Martin Luther King Commission. And so the goal for me was to establish a tone from the outset that will allow individuals to come together and realize this is not just a Black-led event, this is an event for this community. Being in that role, I realized that the majority of the leaders on the board were African-American, and I felt like there was a time for me as an African-American to be a positive disruptor, to usher in non-Blacks into the conversation of leadership. And so when I took that bold step, I got criticized, but I really felt fueled by the opportunities to bring in whites and Latinos into the conversation, male and female, from the millennial generation all the way up to the silent generation. Because I knew that if we can get the right people in place, we could begin to predict the outcomes because all the voices were represented. And so pushing to the results side of the equation, we still to this day, after nearly 6 years, generated the largest attendance on record. We had over 300,000 people in 2016. And we also raised the most money ever for scholarships. So I'm telling you, the power of connectivity, the power of vision can create those outcomes that seem insurmountable, but you can make them possible through the right partnerships that can get facilitated through your active involvement. So again, I am just an individual that was driven by the story of Jamal. Jamal telling me that what was possible because of the impact that I had in his life. And that felt good. And I wanted to repeat that process with every person that I met in my life. So for me, every time I meet someone, I want to make sure that I leave them better off than they were before we met. There's value in trying to find ways to uplift people. And there's value in being your best self every single day, even when it's most difficult.